The Reds are back in action again on Sunday as we take on West Ham United in the last of festive fixtures. Things are looking great for the Reds at this moment in time, and things could be about to get better. In today's video, we have some massive Virgil van Dijk news, not only that we will also go over all of the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. This video is sponsored by Clothing. Clothing is a Liverpool clothing site owned by match-going fans. Each design is limited edition and is perfect to wear on a match day, on the terraces at Anfield, down your local, or cozy in the comfort of your own home. As stated, each design is limited edition, and if a product is showing out of stock, they will not be restocking the item, so if you have your eye on something, grab it fast. Lastly, Clothing wants fellow Reds to be 100% satisfied with their orders, so if there is a reason you're not happy, they will refund you with no questions asked. Head over to clothing.com or down into the link in the description to get all of your Liverpool merchandise. Anyway, let's get back into today's video. Firstly, Liverpool are not expected to sell Tyler Morton or Wataru Endo in the January transfer window, despite neither midfielder holding down a starting role. Arne Slot has settled on a core group of 4 regular starting midfielders, which so far, even Harvey Elliott has struggled to break into. Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister and Curtis Jones have shared the minutes in the Premier League and Champions League, with squad options reserved for the Carabao Cup. Chief among those are academy graduate Morton and the 4th oldest player in the squad Endo, who have clocked just 162 and 261 minutes on the pitch respectively. Despite this, and widespread summer interest, Liverpool are not planning on allowing either player to leave in January. That is according to 2 well-placed Merseyside journalists, with The Athletic's James Pearce reporting on Morton and David Lynch, whose work can now be found on Substack, providing an update on Endo. Pearce has explained that Liverpool will not allow Morton to leave on loan, and with clubs unwilling to meet their £20 million price tag in the summer, unless a midfielder is added, that stance is likely to remain unchanged. Meanwhile, Lynch reported that the Reds will not move Endo on mid-season, but could consider his position again at the end of the season. Marseille saw an £11.8 million bid for Endo rejected in July, and no further developments were made, while a host of clubs around Europe were credited with an interest in Morton, but no permanent bid materialised. Bayer Leverkusen were considered closest to signing the 22-year-old, but with Liverpool unwilling to loan him out again, he stayed put. Pearce claims that Morton's attitude and application in training have been second to none, with Slot and his staff clearly impressed with his commitment to the cause, with Liverpool into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup and expected to go deep in the FA Cup too. Having drawn League 2 relegation candidates Accrington Stanley in the 3rd round, there will be more opportunities in 2025. It stands to reason that the Reds would not be open to weakening their squad in January, despite the peripheral roles both Endo and in particular Morton play. Both players will likely accept that stance too, with Liverpool in a remarkable position, heading towards the end of the year, clear at the top of both the Premier League and Champions League. In some massive Virgil van Dijk news, Arne Slot has hailed the impact of Virgil van Dijk on and off the pitch for Liverpool, with the captain in constant talks over a new contract. Van Dijk, Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold are permitted to formally discuss moves to clubs outside of England from January 1st, as they enter the final 6 months of their contracts. Liverpool will be eager to avoid any of those players reaching an agreement with another side, but as it stands, there has been no breakthrough in constant talks over extensions. Asked about their situation during his pre-West Ham press conference on Thursday, Slot reiterated, "If we would have an update, then probably it's not the moment for me to tell you now, but in general, I don't talk about contract situations here. It would be a surprise if I was the one to announce that one of them had extended, so that's for a different moment. Keep asking because that's your job, but you're probably not going to get an answer from me." It's clear that from the 1st of January, maybe for you guys things change a lot, but they are in constant talks with the club. Let's wait and see what happens. As long as they keep performing like this, the manager, or the head coach I have to say, is happy with them. There have been hopes that Liverpool could replicate their announcement of the signing of Van Dijk on December 27th, 2017, with news of a new contract on Friday. As it stands, that has not been the case, though there could perhaps still be a surprise sighting of the Dutchman standing in front of a Christmas tree with a pen and paper in hand. While that seems unlikely, Slot would certainly welcome his compatriot, extending his stay at Anfield beyond the end of the season. That is difficult for me to judge, because I wasn't here when Virgil was close to winning the Ballon d'Or, for example. He said when asked if he felt Van Dijk was as good as he's ever been this season. He's been a tremendous player, such a great player for Liverpool for so many years. Unfortunately for him, he was out with an injury for almost all of the season. That didn't help this club at all, so that probably tells you how big of an impact he has here in this club. I can only tell you what my experiences are with him, and he's been outstanding. Not only from what you see because you see him during the game, and he's outstanding during the game, but he has such a big impact in training sessions as well. He's the vocal leader of this team. Every time we start an exercise, he's every time on top of his teammates, and he leads by example. So for me, he's been outstanding until now, and we can only hope he can continue showing this during the games and in the training sessions as long as he's with us. Lastly, with Cody, Gakpo and Luis Diaz now both on double figures for goals already this season, Arne Slot has explained why Liverpool's wingers are more productive. Gakpo came away as man of the match after a goal and assist in Thursday's 3-1 win over Leicester, with his long-range equaliser making it 10 for the season. It comes with the Dutchman often competing for a spot on the left wing with Diaz, who himself has already netted 11 goals this term, albeit also playing as a number 9 at times. Mohamed Salah scored his 19th of the season to help clinch victory on Boxing Day, meaning Liverpool's 3 regular wide options have netted 40 between them before the campaign's halfway point. In total last season, Salah, Gakpo and Diaz scored 54 between them, with it clear that Slot is getting more out of his wide players. I think the main difference maybe is that the setup from the front 3 was a bit different than the setup now, Slot explained in his post-match press conference. We expect a bit more from our wingers to keep it wide, to try to get them in 1v1 situations. Cody has done this really well. Lucho has done this really well when he's played from the left. But Lucho is, in our opinion, also capable of playing as a 9. He did that really well against Spurs. Against Spurs, it was mainly Lucho and Mo that were dominant. Now it was Cody again together with Mo. So it's just nice to have so many options. In every position actually, but also in the front 3. Interestingly, Slot's system in favouring wide players is arguably similar to Jurgen Klopp's most successful iteration with Roberto Firmino, the central foil for Salah and Sadio Mane. Over time that changed, chiefly with the jarring £85 million signing of Darwin Núñez, with the emphasis more on supplying the Uruguayan. But Slot has opted to shift things back to wingers staying high and wide, and the central striker dropping deeper, which certainly benefits Gakpo, whose long-range prowess levelled things just before half-time against Leicester. I think it was crucial to score the 1-1 just before half-time, the head coach admitted, because that lifted us up. You could see that immediately in the second half when we just kept on going with what we did. It's not only helpful for us, but I think it worked the opposite way for Leicester. They felt like, okay, it's going to be tough. That brings us to the end of today's video. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed it, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily Liverpool content. Thank you.